Hi friends, welcome to my channel Literature and Life. Today I am going to explain a English poem which is included in NCERT syllabus for class 12. This poem is not only important for exam but also a splendid poem that introspects human mind. This poem is written by an American poet Pablo Neruda. Let's see a general introduction of Pablo Neruda. Pablo Neruda, whose original name is Neftali Ricardo Roes Basurto, who was a Latin American poet born on 12th July 1904 and died on 23rd September 1973. He was awarded Nobel Prize in 1971. His notable works are Residence on Earth, Canto General, 12 20 love poems and a song of despair, Crepusculario, Then Come Back, The Lost Neruda, Elemental Odes, Spain in My Heart. So now let's go to the title of the poem. What does the title mean? The title of the poem means not to make noise, not to say anything. The title of the poem means not to make noise. Okay, not to make noise. A question may arise in your mind: why is the poet suggesting us not to make noise? Rather, he is saying to stay in stillness. Okay, this may mean we, the human beings, are making noise, disturbing others, or creating troubles. As we cannot ask the question to the poet, let's go back to his life, his society, to understand this poem betterly. Okay, before going to the poem, I would like to show you some picture. Okay, this is a picture of World War One. This pictures also of World War Two, and this picture is also from World War Two. And this is a picture of Cold War, the beginning of the Cold War, and this is a picture of nuclear test which was done by USA, United States of America, after World War II. Now, what do this picture suggest you? What do this picture indicate? These pictures indicate the social life of 1950s was not so good. This world was full of chaos. This world was full of insecurity. This world was full of power. In this world, the people of that particular society were fighting for power, fighting for wealth, and scientific inventions aroused a hike on industrial revolution. Emerging cruelty and excessive exploitation of natural resources was in trend. So, the poet Pablo Neruda, being a humanitarian, wanted to seek attention of the people about the growing chaos and its consequences on human life. He wanted to aware what were happening around the world, around the society, and for this he urged to stop for a moment. That is how he started first two lines of the poem. Let's move to the poem. The poem, originally written in Spanish, written in 1950s, published in 1974, posthumously in the collection Extravaganza. The main essence of the poem is introspection and retrospection. What do introspection and retrospection mean? Introspection means observation and examination of one's own thoughts and feelings. It also means self realization. And what does retrospection mean? Looking back at one's past or past events, or recalling the past. Okay, this is the main theme of the poem, introspection and retrospection. Okay, let us move to the line to line explanation of the poem. Okay, this is the poem Keeping Quiet. Okay, the first two lines. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. Here the poet Pablo Neruda asking the humanity to count numbers from 1 to 12, 12 being the number of hours shown in a clock or the number of zodiac signs. Okay, here counting counting also suggests what a kind of meditation, perhaps the poet Pablo Neruda suggesting people to meditate through these lines. Okay, through the meditation we can achieve the ultimate goal, we can achieve our happiness, we can acquire our knowledge. In the next stanza he is saying, for once on the face of the earth let's not speak in any language, let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. What is he saying? He requests everyone not to speak because languages create barriers between people. The moment when everyone stops moving their body will be very special and different, as we have never experienced such a moment before. Okay, the poet says that in this period of inactivity, people should not move their arms. Okay, in the next stanza is saying, okay, in this stanza he is also saying through the word arms he means the weapons which are used by different countries to raise a war against each other. So basically the poet is demanding peace for all of us, for all the human beings. We can see two world wars, World War I and World War II, were totally destroyed our human existence. The people became totally uncertain of their life. Okay, and so he is urging people not to move, not to use arms so much. Okay, in the second stanza, it would be an exotic moment. It would be an exotic moment. What is the meaning of the word exotic? Extraordinary. Okay, extraordinary. Extraordinary. This will be an extraordinary moment. Which moment will be extraordinary moment? The moment of silence, the moment of inactivity. Okay, it would be an exotic moment without rush, without engines, in a sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hard hands. Pablo Neruda says that it would be a rare situation, extraordinary moment when there will be no engines working. We see the engines today are making noise, are making pollution so much. Here he wants to stay, and if everything comes to stillness, it will be a very different moment for human beings. If all the engines like the vehicles and machine stops, then we can observe there will be a sudden strange situation as the world will experience a sudden calmness. And this situation now we are observing in this pandemic moment. Okay, this is an extraordinary moment for human life. We are we are we're experiencing an extraordinary moment in this situation. Okay, in this danger, he further says that the fishermen will also stop and not harm whales in the sea. This means, what does it mean? This means that the poet is urging everyone not to harm the animals. Okay, here the fisherman stands for powerful, for for powerful people, and whales powerless. Okay, here the poet is saying not to disturb powerless. Okay, in this stanza he is also saying that he wants everyone to stop for a while in order to see and feel their achievements and how much they have lost for the sake of attaining such materialistic things. Okay, in the third stanza, those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victory with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade, doing nothing. I want should I want should not be confused. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. I want not struck with death. Okay? The people who exploits the green wealth of nature by deforestation, by mining, or by fishing in the deep seas, and the soldiers who use weapons to kill fellow human beings need some time to introspect, to know oneself, to know oneself into the consequences of their actions. They are merely doing their job or following their orders by the upper class, by the power, orders by the power. In this poem, in this stanza, he, the poet, wants them to put on new clothes, that is, to adopt a new approach towards life and to realize that killing so many people is not a victory. Here, no survivors alive. He wants all of us to be united as one, consider one enemy to be our brother. In this stanza, he is also promoting brotherhood, peace, and unity. Okay. In the fourth stanza, here he is saying that if we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding themselves and of threatening ourselves with death. Okay, in this stanza he's saying that his readers that When he asks them to stop for saying or doing anything, he does not want anyone to become a inactive person. Non-active person is a person who remains idle and does not do anything. Here he simply means that we should not stop and see the consequences of our deeds or of our works, of our duties. The poet does not want to see people being killed due to their greed for money and expansion of territories. Okay, he further says that people are continuously working to achieve their tasks without even thinking about their results. Okay, the sadness of not enjoying what we have achieved and the greed to achieve what next is the in the list to be achieved. In the fifth plus danger, he is saying, perhaps the earth can teach us, perhaps the earth can teach us as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Now I will count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. And in this danger, the poet suggests us to take a teaching from nature. As the earth undergoes changes in winter, everything freezes, everything becomes cold, becomes lifeless. But after some time, the season changes again and everything comes back to life. Similarly, taking a pause and introspecting into our lives will give it a new meaning. We will be we will be able to understand the purpose of life. It will be a like it will be like a rebirth of the soul, rebirth of the humanity. The poet has conveyed to all the people the purpose of his message, and so he asks them once again to take a pause, to count till 12 and walks out of the scene, keeping the scene open for all the people on the earth and to experience these for times to come. Okay. Thus, the poem is a big lesson for us, for all the human beings, and we should follow the path of Pablo Neruda. Thank you.